So before we even begin to tackle drawing a specific object, we need to remember that the world is made up of four basic shapes, right? The circle, the square, the rectangle, and the triangle. Now, those help us to understand. Having those in the back of our head reminds us that in three-dimensional terms, objects are essentially a sphere, cube, a cone, or a cylinder shape. Now, of course, I'm watering it down, making it very, very elemental, but it really helps to kind of think about those basic shapes as a jumping off point, a basic structure to understand more complex objects and shapes that you're trying to draw. So when I look at this picture, I notice that it's cylindrical in nature, and that it is somewhat bulbous in the middle. It has kind of a belly. So I'm thinking of it as first off a circle, and then I'm stretching that circle out to create a bit more of a complex shape. Now that is just what I have in my head before I even begin to draw. So this is a nice diagram of some objects where from left to right they become sort of more complex. They're very basic on the left, and then you can kind of see how they develop in terms of becoming more spherical, more cylindrical, and more complex forms. Let's talk about your drawing setup. Make sure you can see both the object and your drawing board at the same time. You don't want to strain or stretch your neck to see the object over your drawing board. All right, let's get started. So you'll notice in the early stages of my drawing, I'm like barely grazing the paper with my pencil. I'm using a 6B pencil here, but still I'm not really putting down much mark. I'm almost, barely touching the surface. This is so that I can keep the drawing open, that the lines can kind of develop over time, that the lines are open. Very, very gestural, very, very sketchy, these preliminary stages. Very rough, okay? I'm barely making marks on my page. This is also to help me kind of envision where I want the object before committing fully to it. So as the drawing starts to take shape, I use lines. I use a vertical line. I send the vertical line straight down through that object and then through it horizontally as well, because you need to think about ellipses. This is a cylindrical object, so it's made up of ellipses. An ellipse is basically a circle on an angle in perspective. So you know that with this picture, there's an opening at the top, and you can even see the bottom of the picture is sort of curved and round. There, if you can imagine, the interior is filled with those sort of curved lines. You can also use the glaze, the line and the glaze on the surface of the object. This one in particular shows you that that object is cylindrical and curving, and it's a vessel, right? So as the drawing develops, you can start to see the shape of the vessel kind of getting formed or forming out of those really basic horizontal and vertical lines that I started the drawing with. You can certainly draw alongside me right now, but I want to show you this side by side just to give you a sense of the way that I develop my drawings. Now, I am probably much faster than you guys, and of course I go a little faster with these demos so that I'm not boring you to death. But you can go slower, that's fine. This exercise is really just to get acclimated to thinking about how to begin a drawing. Start with basic shapes, start with very, very light sketching, and you can build up that line as you start to kind of gain accuracy and specificity of the form. So you'll notice that I split my ellipse, the opening of the pitcher, I split it in quarters. Each one of those quarters should be equal to one another. You can kind of see in this diagram of different kinds of elliptical forms or cylindrical forms the way that we think about the ellipse and how we can gain accuracy and specificity and you know, symmetry in that ellipse itself.